Hey guys, Mr. Riley here, and I'm here in Peekskill, New York for the Harriet Tubman Journey to Freedom monument that's on display for this month in February for Black History Month. All right, so Harriet returns to Peekskill, New York after about 150 years. So about 150 years ago, she was in this town helping with the Underground Railroad. So it is known that Harriet Tubman was here in Peekskill and she would help fugitive slaves get to freedom. Harriet's best known for being the Moses of her people, but later on she'll also serve in the Civil War as a scout, and she'll be the first woman to lead men in combat in the Civil War. So she had lived an amazing life, and later on will become a women's rights advocate. So come down to Peekskill and check out the statue for yourself, take your selfie, and hopefully be inspired by the amazing life of Harriet Tubman. So I'm here on the banks of the Hudson River, where enslaved people will be taken up the Hudson from the south and taken to Peekskill, where conductors would take them along the McGregor's Brook, which is up along here, and they would find safe houses where conductors of the Underground Railroad would find safe haven until they eventually get all the way to Canada. After the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, enslaved people were no longer safe here in New York and could be taken back into slavery down south. So people like Harriet and other conductors of the Underground Railroad would bring people all the way up to Niagara in New York and then cross over into Canada. In the 19th century, Peekskill Landing was a bustling port. Ships delivered raw materials to local manufacturers and sailed away with finished products. Agricultural goods from farms throughout Westchester County began their journey to outlying markets. People arrived and departed on lavish steamboats. There's 3 docks here at the Peekskill Landing. And with this bustling port, it'd be easy to see where there's going to be a network of people that are willing to act as conductors on the Underground Railroad and assist those in need. So come down to Peekskill and walk in the footsteps of Harriet Tubman and other conductors of the Underground Railroad as we explore this exciting and important chapter in American history. McGregor Brook flows into the Hudson River, and enslaved people would follow this brook to a safe house in Peekskill, where we'll go to next. I'm here on Main Street in Peekskill for the site right behind me. It was owned by Hawley and Harriet Green, who operated a safe house for enslaved people. So after the Hudson River and then McGregor Brook, they'd be taken into the greenhouse where they'd find safe haven until they would move on until safely getting to Canada. So this is one of the first stops right here in Peekskill, New York. So check it out for yourself. The Zion Church was home to many abolitionists, including the famous Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, and Henry Ward Beecher. The church was also known as a safe haven for runaway slaves, and there was a false pulpit where enslaved people could be hidden as well. All right, so my next stop on the Peekskill Underground Railroad tour is the home of Henry Ward Beecher, and that's brother to Harriet Beecher Stowe, and he's an abolitionist and preacher, and he also kept a safe house and also included a tunnel to help enslaved people hide out. So it's right here as another documented house of the Underground Railroad. The city of Peekskill is one of the most unique places in the Hudson Valley for understanding the significance of the Underground Railroad, and it's the most well-documented city with Underground Railroad stations. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this tour of the Underground Railroad here in Peekskill. And it's all inspired by works of people such as Harriet Tubman. And so check out her statue, and then also look for some of these stops along the way in Peekskill, New York, not too far from us in Carmel. All right, bye for now, and keep living history.